Yo, what's up, fam? Welcome to UCC. This is going to be an episode on the relationship between cannabis and video games. You got your boy JJ.
Antōn.
And that's about it. That's who's here today. JJ and Antōn special for y'all.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, we're just going to go straight into our experience with video games and cannabis and like how it all ties together. Because like we talked about earlier, they go hand in hand.
They do. They really do.
Like ice cream and fudge. Like
like peanut butter and jelly.
Like peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah. It is. It's like it's a good, because you can do it, like you can medicate and then play video games for multiple reasons. Like you can have just focus, where like I like to focus in when I use my medicine for playing video games. Like,
yeah, it does. It gives you that tunnel vision type of feel and gets you more immersed.
Yeah.
Even
you can really like you can really lock in. I mean, there's been times where like you're just playing and like someone's talking, you're like, yeah, and like, wait a minute, like, sorry.
Wait, what was that?
I didn't hear that whole conversation. I was in the zone.
Exactly. No, it happens with people with TV constantly. So just imagine being that much more tied into something that you're controlling, you know, like with video games, you're just more into it, and cannabis just locks you in even more.
Yeah.
And I don't know, it just with people too, it's always been a social thing for me to be like, hey man, let's get some cannabis and play some video games together. Like,
yeah,
that's always been, a recreational pastime for me. Since I was young, since I started smoking cannabis, I was really into playing video games. So, of course, I was going to be doing both things at the same time.
Mm-hmm. No, I get it. It's like we used to freaking buy some cannabis and then like go play some Halo.
Yeah, dude. Halo
have some
2.
LAN parties, man.
The Halo 2 was one of the first games I played. Just lit, dude.
Oh,
lit as
yeah,
a Christmas tree, man.
Like we used to just, because it was my buddy's house, and I think all he had was like a bed, and then like wherever his TV was set up, so there'd be like 6 of us just sitting on the bed.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, this is just like all like sometimes
it's all
like,
muggy in the room.
Oh my gosh,
shit.
yeah, you gotta like stand up to be comfortable.
Yeah.
You're just like, oh yeah, like no, my back hurts. You like sitting on the ground looking straight up at the TV because you need back support.
Right.
And this is even at like 16, 17, it wasn't an old man yet.
Damn.
Yeah.
Just doing them hours.
Oh, yeah. Just
playing video games.
Just messing up that back for now, man.
I know you had a hard time answering this question earlier, but like, what was your first game that you played on cannabis?
Oh.
Or like some of the first games?
I still don't remember.
I remember you said something like it had to be maybe like an RPG.
No, yeah, it's probably like... I think it had to have been an RPG, just because, like...
Especially if it was cannabis by yourself.
No, because it could have been, like, the first time I did get stoned when I got home. Like, I ate all the food in the fridge, and then I might have sat down and played probably Grand Theft Auto Vice City, to be honest.
Hey, dude, that was one of the first games I really got into.
Just trying to bring it back, trying to, like, core memory unlocked. Yeah,
dude.
No, it might have been, just sitting there, and I sat there for, like, 2 straight hours and just ate chips and
hell yeah,
and played some Grand Theft Auto Vice City, because you can get locked in. You can beat that stupid freaking little helicopter mission where you fly through the...
Dude, I had such a hard time with that game. I mean, because I was playing it at a young age.
Oh, yeah.
Really young. And my dad did not want me playing it, but my older sister had it. And I was constantly playing it, getting a katana, cutting people's heads off. Wasn't into cannabis at that point, but I remember Grand Theft Auto definitely had cannabis references.
Oh, yeah.
Like, especially in San Andreas when you're like, have to go burn down that guy's weed farm.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just like, yeah, Rockstar has been showing love to cannabis for a minute, and just putting it in their games.
I think since, like, probably since it was top down.
Yeah.
Like 1 and 2 were top down.
Yeah, I remember.
2 was a lot of fun, actually. Like Grand Theft Auto 2, that one was so much fun. I think I played it on PC.
And the little Elvis guy, and you had to freaking like,
yeah,
Elvis is in town.
Oh, driving was so much fun because you would just like you'd be driving through the city, but like the camera is like following you. So
yeah. That'd be a cool one to go back and play and experience because I haven't played it in years.
Oh, dude, me neither. Like the last one I played that was like that, there was a Game Boy Advance Grand Theft Auto. I think there was a couple of them, but they were top downs.
That's cool.
It is. It was fun actually. Like yeah, those would be fun to go back to, just because they're older. But like classics like that are nice because you do want to go back to them.
So you're saying GTA was the game that you played?
Probably. I played a lot of GTA.
And Final Fantasy, maybe.
And Final Fantasy, for sure. Yeah.
I'd say for me, man, like I said, Halo 2 is definitely one of my first that I've played. I remember being at my cousin's.
Mm-hmm.
She, shout out to Josh. We were over at his house, and yeah, me and my homie Brent just eating a fucking big ass bowl of chili and playing Halo 2, and he's like, "What's up with you guys?" I'm just like, "I'm stoned. Don't tell anybody." He ended up telling my blood cousin, who he was married to at the time, and she was like, "What?" And then told my mom, and I was like, "What?" I somehow, got in trouble, because I was like 13 or something at the time. But I was like, man, I can't trust him now.
Yeah, right.
Because he's going to tell my cousin, and my cousin's going to tell my family. But no, that fear went away pretty quick, and we would play Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 constantly. And
that's a good stone game, too.
I never got stoned with him, but me and Brent would go get stoned, and that was like a safe house for us because it was across the street from my house, down the street from his grandma's, and then next to my grandma's. So like,
it was like,
so yeah, and it was. I felt safe there where I wasn't going to get in trouble.
Yeah.
And so yeah, we'd go there and just experience playing video games, Mortal Kombat, but I remember a lot of Call of Duty, definitely, for sure.
I remember playing a lot of Call of Duty. Like,
stoned.
Yeah, stoned.
Medicated.
Yeah, all right. I mean, it's recreational. So sometimes it's recreational. So
it was at that point.
Yeah, in the early stages, definitely all recreational use.
Yeah.
Let's get.
There's medicinal benefits, but I didn't really think about it, and I was just gaining the benefits without knowing it.
Exactly. I had no idea.
Yeah.
Just.
I'm just very lucky that that I like cannabis as my crutch per se. Like, people say pick your poison.
Mm-hmm.
There's people that drink. There's people that,
Oh yeah, you usually
do, all sorts of other things, pills, whippets, like, especially around my age, like recreationally, like all this shit's around. And like, for me, I'm just like, cannabis is good.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
I don't see as many negative effects with cannabis as I do with, like, not to say it's an addiction, but per se other addictions for me. Like, because whenever you have an addiction, most of the time when you get rid of that addiction, you replace it with another one. But you try to replace it with a good one. So, like, mine is, like, I did stop drinking, but my cannabis intake just shot through the roof. I became an everyday user.
Yeah.
So, which is fine with me because it's not like I'm blown out of my mind.
Well, I don't mean to cut you off, but when I first got into the electrical industry and was getting drug tested, I was, scared to use my medicine, and I didn't have a card at the time, and they didn't. It wasn't legal in Utah at the time, and so I stopped for quite a while, just because it was getting randoms. And so, what did I do? I started drinking a little more.
Yeah.
It was a little harder for me, but I made it to where I can enjoy it. I was making like what's it, like the cheap Bloody Marys or whatever, just getting a beer and putting V8 juice in
Yeah.
it. The red beers.
Oh, dude, red beers are great.
Yeah, dude. And so I would get those red beers and I could chug those. I would drink those because I love V8 juice.
Oh, dude, I would do that. I love red beers, so I like to have a variety of them. Because it's like, I don't want to drink this one too much. So sometimes I would make it with like the Clamato, and then sometimes I'd make it with just V8, or I'd get like a special V8.
Yeah, I definitely got into that for sure.
Or we did the, I know this is off topic, but we used to just buy the like Bloody Mary mixes, but we would buy like the special ones and be like, okay, which ones
mixers?
Like which ones are the best ones to mix with my beer?
Yeah.
But, that shit is good.
There's some good ones, man. And I would put like a hot sauce in there, a little pepper on top, and just down those. And yeah, was that healthier? No. You know, definitely not. I would prefer cannabis, and I still do. Now that I'm able to ingest my cannabis legally and not be drug tested and be in the industry that, you know, that I'm passionate about.
Exactly, and it's more accepted, and people are more educated on it. So there's no stigma that comes along with it in our industry.
But yeah, addiction is a good point when it comes to video games too. Like, people can be addicted to anything.
Oh yeah,
it's not just substances. Video games, you know, that comes up a lot. You know, video games can be very addicting.
Food, tattoos, shopping, anything.
Unhealthy addictions.
Yeah. And then, like, good addictions, breathing oxygen.
I'm addicted to breathing oxygen.
Working out. Like, some people do get addicted to working out. Like, if they go too overboard, but they do, like, no, I have to do this every day. It's like, oh, no, like, I have to be at the gym every day or my day is shot.
Right.
And to me, that's an addiction.
Yeah. There's definitely, you know, that can turn unhealthy in some ways.
It can, but if you're eating enough, then it doesn't matter. Like, just grub. Do it. Just grub and go to the gym.
Be healthy.
Yeah. Once I'm closer, dog. Gym time.
Yeah.
Also more.
Antōn's moving a little closer to me, so we're going to be chilling a lot more. And, you know, you guys might hear a lot more Antōn and JJ special. UC specials.
Honestly. Yeah, because if we can do it, we will.
But yeah, back on topic, video games and cannabis.
Yeah. So we went over our first, like, what we can remember first of
like our first experiences. Yeah. You're right. Because, we've always been into both of them. We've always been into cannabis and, like, video games since I was very young, you know. Just to give you guys a background, like, since I was young, my family had a Sega Genesis, so I was playing that. Then my sister got a PlayStation 1, you know, and I would watch her as much as I can, play when she would let me. Yeah. When she got a PS2, she gave me her PS1.
Oh, that's dope.
When she got a PS1, I got the Sega, so I was playing on that too.
Oh yeah, like you
But then, you know, I got the hand-me-downs. So, and then after that, she kind of, you know, grew out of it, and I got a PS3, you know, when it came out. Boom. Got a PS4. I was working at Kmart, held one behind the counter.
You dirty dog.
Yeah, hid one for release, picked it up, boom, got a PS4. And have always been an avid PC gamer as well, like on and off the PC. And, you know, as soon as I started using cannabis, it just tied right into each other. And like all the way back to even before we were born, 1970s, 1980s, the relationship between cannabis has been there for a minute. It's got cultural roots, right?
Yeah.
Both cannabis and video games started gaining cultural significance around the same time. In the 1970s, you saw a rise of cannabis as part of the countercultural movement, while video games began to come out and emerge as a new form of entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
We had the arcade era.
Oh, yeah.
To when our parents were around.
Oh, yeah, and I'm sure, like, our parents back then...
They showed us some arcade games.
Yeah, I'm sure they were at the arcade, stoned AF, playing freaking Pong or playing Pac-Man.
Oh, like, you know it.
Yeah, like, you're not telling me you're 16, 17 years old hanging out at the arcade and you didn't just smoke a joint with your friends?
Well, think about it. It's like a classic stereotype, right? The teenager smoking weed, playing video games, eating junk food. Like, that's classic. And we're not teenagers anymore, but we're still playing video games, smoking weed, and eating junk food. Because we're living the life we want to live. You know, we still got our responsibilities and got to go to work every day, but, you know, we do what we love.
Yeah.
But yeah, the arcade era, dude. In the late 1970s, early 1980s, arcade scene was, you know, blew up, flourished. There wasn't like a huge like direct link between cannabis and arcade. Like there wasn't any like weed arcade games or anything. But like I said, that stereotype was there. The subcultures, the social nature, relaxed. You know, in the arcade place, like in the Nickelcade, whatever. Like there were stoners.
Yeah. Well, something to do. Like you can get stoned and then you can go do something instead of just sit on the couch and stare at the ceiling.
Yeah.
Whoa.
I mean, that's nice fun. Too, to meditate and stuff.
But to each their own, but I just prefer...
It's all on its own.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's all on its own thing.
But they do go hand in hand. Like it's flashing lights and visuals.
Right. But then people, they didn't have to go out anymore. 1990s came. Oh. And guess what came out? The home gaming consoles, bro. Into the living rooms.
What, like Nintendo, the original Nintendo, what's Sega console?
Sega Genesis.
Genesis.
Yeah. Maybe or earlier, huh?
Or was it Nintendo? It was like, you had the Atari come out.
Yeah, the Atari was...
That was Pong.
Yeah.
And then the Atari came out with a bunch of other games, like E.T. and... Oh, that was so crazy.
Yeah, so once it was in the home, it was super chill, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Just leisure, freaking... It was natural companion with the casual gaming experience. Then you had the stoner culture. We talked about it in the History of Cannabis episodes with movies like Dazed and Confused, Half Baked. They had scenes playing video games in it and also smoking weed. You know, so it was like reinforced the association of video games and cannabis together in those like stoner movies.
Yeah.
And like, if you guys want to comment anything that you're thinking of as we're going down, because we're kind of going a little quick with this, feel free to comment. You know, feel free to comment your experiences as well with video games and cannabis and what you remember with the history of video games and cannabis and how they interlink and interlock. Moving on to the 2010s and now, we have esports and streaming. That's coming out. Twitch, like people are using cannabis on Twitch while playing video games constantly.
Yes.
Like there's hundreds, thousands, if not tens of thousands of people doing that right now.
Usually if you're watching streams or stuff like that, sometimes they'd be hitting their pen halfway.
Yeah. And like we were talking about earlier, like with Grand Theft Auto, the content they put in there, you know, with cannabis, Watch Dogs 2 even, and like there's been numerous amount of games with
Saints
cannabis.
Row.
Saints Row. Man, there's so many that I can't even think.
Right.
Like Fallout 4 had it.
Yeah.
The big weed farm.
There's references. We just can't recall them right now.
Well, we're also medicated.
We are medicated. We took a few bags of some nice stuff.
Yeah, we got the volcano here in front of us.
Yes, we do. And we definitely partook in that. And then we also have the...
Puffco Peak.
Yes, Pro.
Puffco Peak Pro.
And we took some dabs out of that. So, you know.
We're here.
We're here.
Yeah, yes. And feel free to medicate along with us, you know. Take your vaporizers, take your Puffcos, your accessories, and smoke along with us. Take your joints, do whatever you got to do.
Yeah, because if you're listening from another state and you have Flame to Flower, then you can smoke your joints and freaking rip your bombs.
Or even if you're in Utah and you're fuck it. We don't recommend breaking the law.
No.
But do what you feel comfortable with.
Yes.
Because that's what we're doing.
Especially if you're in the comfort of your own home. Then you definitely have free range of what you want to do.
Yeah. Because that's how I feel. That's how I'd be living. But yeah, dude, the cultural impact of cannabis and video games. Like, there's, 420 gaming tournaments.
Oh, yeah.
Cannabis-themed LAN parties.
LAN parties. Some kids don't know what LAN parties are.
Well, we'll
reintroduce it to them.
Reintroduce it with cannabis.
Yes. But they won't be kids. They'll be adults.
Right. Well, people that are 21 now are kids to us. They still...
It's true.
They don't know what LAN parties are.
Like, if you are a fresh 21-year-old, you are just a kid to me. I'm sorry.
You probably don't know what LAN parties are. Or you do, and you've just heard of it.
Yeah, it's just a picture of some guy.
It's a legend.
Of some guy duct taped to the ceiling.
And there's wires everywhere.
And there's wires and so many TVs. Where did they get all those TVs back then? Like, TVs were expensive.
You brought it with you.
You did, but like, oh damn. Oh, but those TVs were so heavy.
So heavy.
All right, back to the history.
Cultural impact, man.
Oh, yeah.
The mental health and relaxation of both, cannabis and gaming. They're both often used for stress relief and relaxation. When I'm, after a hard day's work and I'm, even when I'm not wound up, but when I'm wound up and I play video games, it's such a stress reliever. Just to I've been doing it since I was young, so there is that nostalgic feeling, but it's also just something that relieves stress for me.
It's a good release because you can
relieves anxiety.
You can get into a different reality, basically. You can go to a different world.
Apparently, there's even studies that have been shown that can help with anxiety and stress for both of them, for video games and cannabis.
I could attest to that. Like, if I'm anxious or stressed, playing video games definitely helps.
Yes.
It doesn't solve the problem, but it helps.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes if you're too medicated and you're playing, Rainbow Six Siege, your team might be like, "Hey, JJ, you just took, way too many bomb rips. You need to, lock in."
Hey, you here? Hello?
Yeah. Maybe that's not the game for you when you're super medicated.
Oh, that's why I didn't play Call of Duty went one of two ways when I was super medicated. I either was the best Call of Duty player, like solid, like 18-3, 18-4, or I was the worst Call of Duty player, 118, 220.
Right.
Yeah. Like,
it goes one or two.
Yeah, it's like either do great or just like, I died.
One or two ways. Yeah, no, same goes for me. But I haven't really played video games sober and tested that out and see if I'm better or anything. I haven't tested that, nor do I want to. But
I usually sorry to cut you off, but I usually just start playing. Friday, I usually just get home and I'm like, I want to play.
That's the first thing you do.
So I just shower, then sit down, and freaking, yeah.
No, first thing I do when I get home is load a bowl, take a bomb rip.
I usually have a cart, so I'll just grab that because I'm like, I don't want to.
Or I'll be ripping the Dragonfly pod. Sour diesel, what I got right now.
I mean,
the Nova pod, just on my way home.
Sometimes you get lucky and you come home from work and you still got a leftover bowl and you're like, yeah, and you just clear that.
Yeah, sometimes Abby will leave me a leftover bowl, a little bit. Because I leave before her, so usually, it'll be empty. But sometimes it'll be a little. I'll be like, hey, finish it off.
Oh, sometimes it's nice when they preload the bowl.
That's really nice.
That's a good one.
Yeah. If you want to be really nice to your significant other and you guys both use cannabis, get that loaded for them before they get home.
Oh, yeah.
Just get it ready for them. And it's just like one of the nicest gestures just to come home and have, a rip ready for you right there.
Sometimes I get home
a bag.
And Aunt Alicia, my wife, has a bag in hand ready for me. It's phenomenal.
Fantastic.
It's great to be able to just be like, whoa, whoop.
And then, you sit down and play some video games, and it just takes all that anxiety and stress away.
Mm-hmm.
It makes it great for us, for us who are hardworking people, and who deal with a little bit of anxiety, occasionally.
Yeah.
Cannabis and video games definitely give us a helping hand. And cannabis is also very well known to enhance creativity and alter your perception a bit, which, like I said earlier, can enhance that immersive experience of playing games. It gets you locked in, especially when you got a VR system, which is super immersive, and, you're using cannabis. I told a story earlier about me using psilocybin mushrooms and using a VR helmet, and how immersive that was. That was beyond immersive.
That was amazing.
It was so cool to where I took it off and I was like, was that real? Is this real? Like it was more of a trip taking it off and putting it on. Like the transition between
real life and reality.
Yeah, it was real life and reality.
Virtual reality. Real life and virtual reality.
Yeah, it was crazy, dude. And cannabis definitely does that. But, I was sidetracked. Mushrooms was just another level.
Yeah. I mean, cannabis also has psychoactive.
Yeah, especially maybe if you do, enough edibles. Because it breaks down in your liver and it has that, is it H211 hydroxy metabolite?
I believe so. That sounds right.
That it breaks down. If that's wrong, it's something.
It's really
like
close.
That. Yeah.
We'll get you.
Breaks down in your liver and basically makes it more psychoactive.
Mm-hmm.
To where you can almost hallucinate, almost feel like a mushroom trip.
Yeah.
But you got to be careful with that, with the nausea and the VR. Because people still get nauseous with VR systems. So, like, if you are doing that, definitely do it once you're already feeling the effects and not, like, in a come-up. Because that nausea state usually happens on the come-up in the beginning states of both of those experiences.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, that's just a little pro tip. But yeah, overall, the relationship between cannabis and video games is one of mutual influence, with each shaping and reflecting the culture of the other over the years till millennial.
Dude. Yeah.
But yeah, dude, I love video games.
I do too.
And I love weed.
I do too. It's a love for the plant.
I've been playing recently like a lot of just sports games, a lot of mobile games. Like Apple Arcade has been killing it. Yeah. Got a really fun Sasquatch game.
When you got here, you sat down and played some NFL.
Some NFL Retro Bowl 25.
It's pretty dope. It's
like a pixelated.
Yeah, it's got that Tecmo Super Bowl feel.
Yeah.
But it's not Tecmo Super Bowl, so don't go in there expecting that. But we're about to get down on some Mario Party after this recording session.
When I got here, he was playing some Far Cry.
I was. It's been fun. It's more just running around and,
Far Cry 6, to be exact.
Far Cry 6. Yeah, we're there.
Yeah.
We're on that. When we count to Far Cries, we have another hand now.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, when I got here, I was like, Far Cry 6? Oh, wow. Yeah, I guess we're there.
And I was like, yeah, Far Cry 6.
Yeah, last one I played, I owned was Far Cry 4, I think.
That was a good one, though. Yeah. That was, a really good one.
And then they had, all these little weird ones in between.
5's there. 5 was the spawning of enemies is weird in 5, so it's like. And then 6, they were like, let's fix that. And it's been fun, and it's like made for PS5, so
yeah.
But let me run my history of consoles real quick.
Get it, dude.
Because like I remember, so we owned a Super Nintendo, and then we all used to play that as one big happy family. And then I ended up with a PlayStation one Christmas. So
hey.
I know, right? Yeah. But so,
Merry Christmas.
Dude, it was so crazy because like I got the PlayStation, then I didn't get a memory card for like 2 weeks.
What?
So I had to start.
Your parents didn't know.
We didn't. Yeah. None of us knew.
Well, yeah. You were a kid.
So. Exactly. I didn't know. They didn't know. But okay, and then we went, like, next was PlayStation 2. And then I didn't get a PlayStation 3. I went Xbox 360 for some reason. I don't know why, but there's always a point when you're, like, an Xbox person.
That's what...
You have to switch, and then, or if you're a Sony person, you have to switch. And then PS4 came out when it got that.
my Uncle Mac, you know, first person I, you know, got high with, he did the same thing. Switch to Xbox. I was so disappointed because I was like, what the fuck? Because he's the guy I played video games with, grew up playing video games with. I ended up getting to switch to PS4.
Nice. Switch back?
Yeah, I got him to switch back.
Nice.
It was PS4. Yeah.
That's I did too. Well, it was like the PS4 was coming out, and I was like, oh, that sounds way better. And I was like, I'll go back to Sony. Let's go back. Like, I had a PlayStation 2. So I got the PS4, and then like 3 months after I got the PS4, I ended up buying a PS3 because I didn't have a working PlayStation 2 anymore. So bam, I have owned all of them.
Yeah. And
then I ended up getting there was like a GameCube in there, and there's a GameCube in there too.
Yeah.
Like right after PlayStation 2. And then Switch, and then the PS5. A little bit of PC here and there, but I've never owned like a good enough PC. I've only owned laptops that played like some games, but not a lot.
Yeah, see, I had this MacBook Pro, but I boot camped it, and so half of it was Windows.
That's dope.
And so yeah, PC game on the MacBook.
Nice. Well, that's my history of consoles.
Yeah, dude. It's pretty similar to my Uncle Mac. He switched to PS4, got a PS5, but when he got a PS4, he was coming over constantly, like every weekend. You know, we'd pick up half ounce, and he'd bring his TV and PS4, and we'd be just gaming out, dude.
Nice.
For the whole weekend, 3 days straight. Because sometimes I'd, you know, not work Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So
that's what, like, when I go up to Logan to see my brother.
It would just be musty, hot boxed in there, smell like fucking just men and weed.
Yo, men and weed.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit of BO, a little bit of food.
And my mom's like, you guys need to take a shower. Like, this smells in here.
Like,
we're having fun.
I'm actually the one who's like,
energy drinks everywhere.
We smell. I need to shower. You're next.
Yep. Yeah, no, towards Sunday, it was like, okay, time to let this shit air out.
Open all the windows, all the doors.
But no, it was some of the best memories. Honestly, just
so much fun,
getting
dude.
really lit and playing video games, man.
One of my old best friends, that's what we used to do. It was just every other weekend, I'd be over at his house. We'd just be playing video games, Friday night to Sunday afternoon. Sometimes we wouldn't sleep from Friday.
Yeah, dude, we'd not pull all-nighters and not sleep because we'd have those energy drinks too. And
yeah, dude, it was so great. And then I'd come up here during the summer, and me and my cousin do the same thing. Stay up till like 6 in the morning, get up at like 10, drink some energy drink. Yeah, dude, and just it was cool. Like 16, 17, 18 years old, you're unstoppable.
Yeah.
You don't need to sleep. You don't need that. You have natural energy, man.
Yeah, it's definitely not like a longevity thing. You can't do that forever.
Also, one of the best video games I ever played might just be a fever dream. Like, it might exist, but it doesn't exist anymore. It was this Final Fantasy, like, Crystal Defenders game, and it was like a tower defense game.
About Final Fantasy?
About Final Fantasy, but yeah, but like, so...
Is it on PC?
No, it was on GameCube. Or it was on Wii GameCube or Wii, and the
Or
problem
was it the Wii U?
No, it wasn't the Wii U because it wasn't that far in the future. It's further back in the past. Well, golly, Ebenezer. So no, I believe it was on Wii, but the Wii shop is now gone. So it is now gone, unless I don't exactly, or it might be on GameCube and it's just gone. And it's one of those where it's like we're not going to emulate. We're not going to put that on ROM. I'll look for it. I'll see if I find it. But like I said,
well, if you guys find it, let Antōn know.
Yeah, let me know. Let me know it's real, so I know that I'm not crazy, or that I already know I am.
But yeah, we'll definitely have some sort of like video game event to where we have UCC come and play with us.
Oh, that'd be dope. Yeah.
Maybe we do get like a Twitch stream going. For UCC Gaming.
Mm-hmm.
UCC Gaming.
Break off.
This is all, stuff in the works, stuff that will be coming out. So if you're a gamer, stay tuned because, you got gamers in UCC.
Yeah.
And we appreciate you guys for listening.
Thank you.
Thanks for tuning in. Fuck, what else? You got anything else to say, man?
Nah, I don't got nothing. Thank you.
We're gonna game and medicate some more.
Yeah, it's time for Mario Party.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Make sure you guys do the same. Stay safe out there. Stay medicated. This is JJ.
Antōn.
UCC what it is. Peace out, y'all.
Deuces. Oh, Bob's here too, by the way.
Bob says bye.
He says bye. He says meow. MJ's around here somewhere too.
Oh, wait. I almost fucked that up.
Oh. Laughing.